Welcome to Kluang. Welcome to our studio, the short interview. We all know that this coming PRN, Pilihan Raya Negeri Johor is very important. And what do you think this PRN Johor will bring any impact to the national political landscape?
I'm most happy to be here. This is a very, very, very important election. It will determine whether the federal election will be called immediately after this state election or otherwise.
The result will influence.
Yes. If Barisan Nasional UMNO were to win big like they did in Malacca, in Sabah and Sarawak, the UMNO leadership will pressure Ismail Sabri, the Prime Minister, to dissolve Parliament.
Election again?
Yes. They are not bothered about the welfare of the people, their health, their well-being. They are only interested to have power, to absolve themselves from the dozens of cases that Dato' Sri Najib and Dato' Sri Ahmad Zahid Ibrahim and also UMNO leaders are facing in court. I must thank the people of Malaysia for allowing Pakatan Harapan to be government in 2018. If not, the nation would collapse very, very fast because there was a change of government. All these leaders who are corrupt are now charged in court. Imagine, one FDB, the world's largest scandal. The world is laughing and looking at Malaysia, and we are in shame now. Now with the court case going on in the United States of America, the world is wondering how can a small nation of Malaysia allow such a big scandal that involved Malaysian ringgit more than 42 billion ringgit.
If you restore confidence of the investment.
So, had Dato' Sri Najib continued to be Prime Minister and Zahid in his cabinet or as Deputy Prime Minister, I can foresee he trying to cover up this big scandal will cost another maybe 40-50 billion to be used, and that may collapse our economy and our ability to pay. This election is so important that we must put a stop to this nonsense. I am shocked that there are still people shouting gospel, supporting him. Where is our moral integrity in the country? Singapore or some other countries, if a minister is involved in corruption, they will be so shameful of themselves. In fact, sadly, in Singapore, one minister even committed suicide, or in Japan, there were ministers who committed suicide out of shame. We lost the moral compass. This election is the time for Johorian to say no to corruption, no to moral decay, no to Najib, no to Zahid, no to UMNO, no to Barisan Nasional.
So, whole country are looking at Johorian.
Yes.
How will Johorian vote in the coming election?
I am so sad that last 50 years, more than about 2 million Malaysian Chinese have left the country, and we have only about 6.9 million Chinese here, which the 2 million is about almost 30% of Chinese who have left the country because they don't see any hope. If we continue to allow and support corruption, there will be really no hope. So they voted with their feet and left the country. These are all the talented people who are able to generate the economy, give us good job. They have left us. In fact, after 14th January election, many of my friends call and say there is hope again. They want to come back. Alas, before they can come back, our nation, the new government fell again because of betrayal, which is again something that we must condemn, we must reject. we can see people selling themselves. So again, the despair came in. Unfortunately, this despair spread further. Malaysians who still remain behind felt that the success in bringing in a new government has collapsed, and they went into despair. I call the people, don't despair, because we have come a long, long way. And if they despair, if they don't come back to work, don't come out to work, they are allowing the kleptocrat, those who are corrupt, those who abuse power, those who betray, to continue to rule. And since those who remain in Pakatan Harapan are the honest people, are the hardworking people, the hardworking ministers, let's rise again to make sure Pakatan Harapan regain the trust of the people and rule the state of Johor and the nation of Malaysia again. This is very important because I hope my 30 over years of struggle, Lim Kee Siang 50 over years, Lim Kuan Yew also 30 over years, many of us have spent a lot of our youthful life and a lot of money hoping to make Malaysia a better place. Those days when I became the chairman of Perak EAP in 1998, there was no hope of us becoming government. Perak State in 1995, we only have one state assemblyman. The whole of Perak, we have 59. We have managed to progress, and by hard work, and people trusted us. In 2008, we won 100% of the seats, 18 seats. 2013 also 100%, 18 seats. 2018 also 100%, 18 seats. And for the parliament, we won 6 out of 7 in 2008, 7 out of 7, 100% in 2013. Similarly, 7 parliamentary seats in also 100% in 2018. And we can form government in Perak with Penang, Malacca, Negeri Sembilan, and even federal government. So we are very near to gain power and change the history of the nation. From those days when, similarly in Johor, those days DNP hardly had any hope. And you have also won 14 seats, 100%. So, and you also formed government in Johor. So we are very near. Just soldier on. Never despair.
In Johor, we have 56 good. So to form a government, we need 29. So how and why is it important for PH to at least gain 29 or at least 18 to deny one and the two-third majority of Barisan Nasional?
In fact, you need to form a very stable government. You need at least 5 state seats majority out of your 26.
What is not enough?
Yes, just 1 or 2 or 3. This is from the experience in Perak. In Perak, in 2008, the Pakatan Rakyat then won 31 seats compared with Barisan Nasional with 28. Because it was only 3 majority seats, so Barisan Nasional has never lost power before. They used all sorts of temptation. All my assemblymen, apart from me and Nakobing, they know we cannot be bought. So they have offered 5 million to 60 million, including an expo to all our assembly elected rep. Unfortunately, 1 fell for it, and subsequently 2 left. One by pressure or inducement of money and benefits. On further analysis, every vote counts. In Perak 2008, I was thinking, had we managed to get extra 11 votes, our government may have been safe. Because in the Bengkalan Baru State constituency under my parliament Ras, we lost by only 11 votes. Had we got more than these 11 votes, we will have 1 more state seat. and we will make them our majority 5. Their side will be reduced to 27. We have 32. I believe with 5 to 6 majority, Barisan Nasional will not be tempted to try to secure the call by enticing our people to form the illegal or backdoor government. So I hope the people of Johor realizes every vote counts. Especially as I come here last few days, I analyze the situation. Look like it will be quite a tight scenario where no one party can form huge majority in this assembly. But if all the voters can come up wholeheartedly come up, every vote counts, I believe Pakatan Harapan will be more than 6 of majority, which will help you all to form a very stable government. And so, in order, we have the opportunity to reject traitors like Muhyiddin in Pakatan Harapan. We want to send a strong message to reject corruption that have brought shame to our nation, not only in Malaysia, but a shame internationally. The judge used the word national embarrassment. I would add, it's an international embarrassment. Malaysians everywhere now felt the shame. If we Malaysians within the country now given a vote to say we reject this international shame of ours, or are we going to tell the world we support this shame that is brought by Najib to us? I tell you, living a life, we must be able to lift our head and walk with the pride and dignity in our life. Let us not be ashamed of ourselves. Let us not bring shame to our children and our children's children, our grandchildren. When they go overseas, we look down by people that your parents, your grandparents support corruption, the biggest in the world. Let the message be strong and clear. So I hope, let us make a decisive decision this time, reject kleptocracy, reject corruption, reject those leaders trade.
So you're hoping over the Johorean voters who are working in overseas, especially in Singapore, also in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, they come back to vote on 12 March.
Yes.
And the history of or the lesson of Perak also told us how important is each vote. So every vote counts.
Yes, every vote counts. Another issue I would like to touch, especially in the constituency contested by DP candidates. Our opponents are all MCA candidates. Let the voters be reminded, especially the Chinese, that MCA is subservient to UMNO. We have known it for a long, long time. Even when MCA Transport Minister was stripped of all powers as a minister, they cannot even retaliate or respond with DDT, but take in shame that they were stripped of all powers as a transport minister. In fact, V. Kasiong must thank PAP for that he now has a little power. If you remember, under Barisan Nasional, when MCA was a transport minister, they have no power over air because we have the airport authority that governs airplane airport. Okay, so the minister has no power over air transport. They have no power over the sea transport, because we have independent port authorities. And the only power that rested with the minister, transport minister, was on landed, we call transport, train, MRT, LRT, lorry, taxi, buses. But when MCA was the transport minister, UMNO stripped MCA of even power over land transport. So he was a minister, MCA minister, named himself a transport minister. This is the only transport in the world where a transport minister has no say over any form of transport. And UMNO then formed an agency called SPAT, Suruhanjaya Pengangkutan Awan Negara, under UMNO's leadership, Syed Hamid Albah. And I suspected they wanted that post because there was about 50 billion of MRT and LRT project that UMNO was eyeing. And MC was know very well the agenda of UMNO, and yet they kept quiet. I would never, even if such a post is offered to me, I would never accept a minister of transport with no power over transport. So I hope the Chinese voter who are now wooed by MCA will realize MCA cannot represent them. It is the DAP. We were very clear in our stand. Whenever a stand that is not in favor for the nation, for the people, we call objective. If you look at now, apart from past fighting for Islamic State, Jamil Hamidi, Jamil Hamidi has openly declared if they can get 2/3 majority in parliament, they will form Islamic State in the country. We are a secular state based on our federal constitution, and I as MP and all of us in Pakatan Harapan upholds the federal constitution, and we do not want the current secular nature of the nation that accommodates all religion, all races, all region in the country, that brings us together. The persekutuan, our motto is bersekutu bertambah mutu. That coming together, we all will benefit. It must not be sectarian. It must not only benefit a certain group. Imagine when Jahid Hamidi declared that he wants to make Malaysia an Islamic state. The MCA objected. No. When we were in Barisan Alternative, when PAS declared that they want to pass Islamic law or Islamic State law in Terengganu, we say no way, and we make a decision and break up from Barisan Alternative. So here is, we respect Islam, we respect the Muslim, but we just want non-Muslim to have also the space and freedom to have their own faith and practices. So this is a nation, multiracial, multi-religious country. Everyone has a place under the Malaysian sun.
PH government fallen caused by the satu party hopping from Pakatan Harapan life, and also some MP hopping to other parties. So in Dewan Negeri, we have been several times pushing for the anti-hopping law in Johor State. We also understand that the coming parliament sitting on Monday will also discuss the anti-hopping law. Would Ngeh also comment about this?
He said this anti-hopping law has been passed in many states long time ago, even in Sabah, where PBS was in government. We have now also other states like Penang, etc. But the problem is, according to one federal, the reading of some lawyers, according to one court case, the federal court has decided the right to associate is guaranteed by the federal constitution. That the elected representative can choose a party they want. But I see the weakness in that reasoning, in that the federal court failed to see the right of the rakyat to choose the elected rep. They only see the right to associate of the elected representative, but not the right to associate, to choose their representative. That right must have been respected. But in order to overcome this legal pronouncement by the federal court, we are going to amend the federal constitution to make it illegal that the person who jump, hop to another party will be automatically declared because that he will cease to become a member of parliament. So, and this is brought about one of the reasons why we have MOU. Many people think that MOU was signed, that we have compromised our principles. It is not. We never compromise our principles. We, in the current situation, we just want the government to be functioning so that we can overcome the COVID pandemic, so that we don't add further problem to the nation with political maneuvering, etc. Because of we have people's interest in our heart, we had this understanding, and we also seize this opportunity to bring reforms to our nation. And one of the law that need to be changed is that is what people want. People are fed up. They have spent money coming back from very far overseas or outstation to vote. After they voted in government, the government changed. Those who lose become government. Those who they supported become opposition. People are so fed up. So we took the opportunity to say, if your government, if Dato Sri Ismail Sabri's government want to continue, make sure the wishes of the people are met. And for that reason, we insist that this law must be passed during this session. And understand that it will be presented and be passed before the end of March, this session.
So hope that the mandate of the rakyat, wishes of the people, will be restored to this brings forward.
Yeah.
So do you think if UMNO, Barisan Nasional, if they win very big in this PRN Johor, do you think they will try to postpone these anti-hopping law amendments in Parliament?
I believe that is a great possibility. Because if they can do it like they did in Malacca, then they immediately force, there were many methods to force the Parliament to be dissolved. And if they may think that they can win the majority nationally also, since people can support corruption, can support kleptocracy, can support what they are doing, instead of pushing through anti-hopping law, Zahid Hamidi have announced he try to push through hudud laws. So this is a very great danger to the nation of Malaysia. We hope that people realize the importance, and in fact, Zahid Hamidi Najib is pressurizing Dato Sri Ismail Sabri to dissolve Parliament because they are very worried. But Dato Sri Najib now has been committed, he cannot become a candidate. He is disqualified. Zahid Hamidi has not been committed. He is worried that once he is committed, he also will be disqualified. But Dato Sri Ismail Sabri tried to prolong the term so that these two people will be committed, and he maybe then later will come to lead UMNO. If for whatever reason he cannot have majority now, he may not even become a candidate. If Zahid Hamidi decides as the president not to make him a candidate, no one will give him the Watita, the permission to use Barisan Nasional logo to stand for the next general election.
So this behind Johor, we can see it is an opportunity for people to restore the mandate and to express their view.
Yes.
And also a danger also. We couldn't stop this hegemony regime to be a dangerous impact to the Malaysia democratic system also.
Yes. If kleptocrat rules great consequence, the world will have no confidence in Malaysia. People will withdraw. In fact, many will withdraw their investments. And if we don't have the economy don't expand, we don't make money, we may suffer the fate of our money, we call rating depreciate greatly. When people lend to us, our interest rate will be higher, things will fall in price. When our money goes smaller, we see the latest example Turkey and Lebanon. Last 3 years, both countries lost about 70 to 80% of the value of money. So we cannot allow kleptocrats to come back. You may be a millionaire. You think you got enough for your pension, for your retirement. But remember, if you're 1 million, suddenly the value becomes only 20% or 10%, or like Zimbabwe, worthless. The whole life or hard work is gone. So if you have 100,000, 200,000, the 200,000 may be worth the current 1,000 ringgit. So you can lose your whole wealth, your whole saving, if you are not careful by working the kleptocrat.
Thank you so much for analyze the whole situation. How important is this PR in Johor? And hopefully everyone is out safe in chaos. Come back to work because every work count.
Yes, it is worth making the effort, because if not, your saving in your bank will disappear. It has happened so many rounds in the last recent years. We have seen Argentina become bankrupt. We have seen Iceland become bankrupt. We have seen so many countries, and literally Zimbabwe, so many countries, literally all their wealth that they accumulated their whole life disappeared in the air in no time. So, politics, your leaders that lead your country is so important.
So this dangerous threat, important will come out to vote and what more?
Yes, Johor market.